we are here first and foremost to celebrate the publication of Neal Shusterman's Unsold, which is the third book in a now 4-book series. We are very flattered when Neal asked that we host the launch event, and even more flattered when he graciously agreed to let us bring in some fellow authors who are here in town. Partially, some of you were here for Comic-Con, correct?
Woo!
And not any of you heard of that?
Yes, I was there this weekend.
Each of the authors are going to tell you a little bit about their books themselves, and then we'll take questions from the audience, and then we'll get books signed. But first, I would like to propose a toast to our wonderful authors and to the field of children's and YA literature. And you are all welcome after the event to help yourself to food and drink, courtesy of Simon & Schuster, Neal's publisher.
Thanks, Simon.
Rather than me talking, I know you all really want to hear the authors, so I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves, tell you about themselves and their books, and we're going to start with Cristin.
We liked you down there.
Hi, I'm Kristin Terrell. Is this on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, right up close, hold on.
Hello.
Pretend you're standing.
Okay, I'm Kristin Terrell. This is my book, All Our Yesterdays. It's science fiction. It's a time travel book.
Try this one, it might be better.
How's that?
Yeah.
Yes. So my book, All Our Yesterdays, it's about time travel. It's about a girl named M who's imprisoned in a secret military base, and she finds a list in the drain of her cell that tells her she has to travel back in time 4 years to kill a person that she once loved in order to avert this terrible world in which she currently lives. And I think Alexandra Bracken led a rebellion today and decided that we shouldn't just read to you because that's a little boring. So if someone wants to yell at a number, I will read to you a random paragraph from that page in my book.
28.
28. Keep page at 28. First I have to find one that's interesting. Okay. Once we're inside the chamber, then points at the return button. Press this. The automation will do the rest. It takes the accelerator about 2 minutes to get the particles to the right velocity for collision, and after that we should be gone. Seems easy enough, Connor says. I repress a hysterical urge to laugh. I guess there's nothing left to say, but, you know, good luck. There you go.
Hi, I'm Tamara Stone, and this is Time After Time, which is my second book. The first one came out in October of last year, and that's the first in the series. This is the second and the last in the series, so it's not a trilogy, it's a duet. And the first one is told from Anna's point of view, the second one is told from Bennett's point of view. So the stories are about this time traveler named Bennett Cooper, who lives in present-day San Francisco, who makes an error in judgment one day and finds himself in 1995 in Evanston, Illinois, and there he meets this pretty fantastic girl, I think, who he has a hard time saying goodbye to. So the stories are really about two people who never should have met but do, and how the fact that they do meet affects not only their lives, but the lives of a lot of people that they love. If anyone wants to shout out a page number, I'll read you something.
23.
Are we cheating here?
28.
28, okay. 23. I thought it would stand. All right, 23 it is. Oh, okay, good. Beginning of chapter 3. Huh. This is hard, yeah? You went to the right spot. Okay, so this is the beginning of chapter 3. So this is in Evanston, Illinois. When I push the door open, the little cluster of bells bangs against the glass, and a guy standing over the new and paperback table turns around and gives me a quick glance. I step inside and look around. I've never seen the bookstore so crowded. I walk down the main aisle, looking for Anna between the bookshelves. I'm halfway through the store when I see her behind the counter. She's ringing up a customer, so I keep a bit of a distance and wait, and try to ignore my heart smacking against my ribcage. Her hair is longer than I remember it, and it occurs to me that every time I saw her in La Paz over the summer, she was wearing it up in a clip or a ponytail. It's even curlier now, and I feel the familiar urge to pull on one of those strands so I can watch it spring back into place. Stop there.
Hey guys, I'm Brittany Geragotelis, and I am the author of the Life's a Witch series. And just to give you guys a little bit of information about Life's a Witch. Life's a Witch was actually created because I wanted to do a reimagining of the Salem witch trials, but I wanted to set it in modern day with a really kick-butt girl who is the most powerful witch in the world. And so the story follows Hadley Bishop, who is a direct descendant of the first person killed in the Salem witch trials. And she's pretty popular and powerful, and a tragedy strikes. And she has to lead her coven of other kind of teen misfits to kind of thwart this evil coven. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It came about because I was sitting there wondering, what if the people back then that were accused during the Salem witch trials really were witches? And what if the people that accused them were members of their own coven? So a lot of people are saying that it's like Buffy meets Bring It On. So if you like that kind of stuff, it's definitely for you. Page number, anybody?
83.
83. Okay. I'm so sorry, sweetie. I didn't know this was going to happen. We were just trying to fix things, but they knew where we were. They surprised us, she said, swallowing hard. I tried to stop them, but we didn't have a chance. There were too many of them, and not enough of us. Why are you saying all of this? I asked, confused. My chest was feeling heavy, and I was having trouble breathing. You're here. You're fine. I'm not, she said bluntly. I flinched as if I'd been slapped. You are, I whispered, my eyes tearing up again. You're fine, stop lying. I was screaming now, and couldn't care less if anyone heard. I was so confused and hurt and tired. I just wanted to figure out what was going on so we could go back to our regular lives.
Hi guys, I'm Kate Bryan. I'm here to talk about my trilogy, which is called Shadowlands. The second book, Herafter, just came out October 1st, so that's the one you see here. Basically, in the first book, in the very first scene, my heroine, Rory Miller, she's a 16-year-old student. She's going to her friend's house to tutor, and she gets attacked in the woods by her math teacher, who it turns out is actually a serial killer. She gets away and has to go into witness protection. And when she goes on the run, she ends up on this island where some very strange things are happening, the strangest of which is the really hot kids in town are very interested in her and not her hot, super popular sister Darcy. So she knows something weird is going on. But things get weirder and weirder, and at the very end of the book, I have to give away the cliffhanger because I'm going to read from the second book. She finds out at the very end that everyone on the island is, in fact, dead, including herself. So, anyone want to give me a page?
29.
72? That's the one I heard, so that's what I'm going with. I'm scared.
I'm going to read this book now.
Okay. For a long moment, I just stood there, vacillating somewhere between an instinct to run and my yearning to see Cristin. Finally, the footsteps receded and a door slammed shut at the back of the house. Unfrozen, I took the stairs to the second floor, 2 at a time, looking into each doorway until I saw him. He was standing with his back to me at a drawing table, which was set up to face a bay window overlooking the ocean, and he was holding something in his hands. Suddenly, he tossed the heavy item into the bottom drawer of a storage cabinet under the desk, locked the drawer, pocketed the key, then turned around before I could come up with a good excuse for my hovering there. "Hey," he said, his eyes lighting up at the sight of me. My heart warmed and I instantly relaxed. "Hi."
Hi, I'm Alex Bracken, the aforementioned Rebel. You were totally not in on this discussion, so please feel free to read whatever you would like. Sorry. So I'm here today for Never Fade, which is the second book in the Darkest Mind series. And my quick pitch for the series is always telekinetic teens on the run from a dystopian government. But to flesh that out a little bit, their world is one in which 98% of the population of kids under the age of 18 have either been killed, and then the 2%. Oh, let me flesh that out a little bit more. Sorry, this is me having too much caffeine in my afternoon. 98% of America's population of under 18-year-olds have been killed by what they think is a mysterious disease, and the remaining 2% have developed kind of terrifying powers of the mind, and they're put into rehabilitation camps. And The Darkest Minds is about what happens when the main character, Ruby, is broken out of one of these camps, and she and her newly found friends are trying to find a safe place. And spoiler, at the end, she's separated from them, I think pretty tragically. And so Never Fade is really about her being a part of, she's taken into a maybe not so kind organization called the Children's League, who claim that they're there to help these kids when they're really kind of there for their own purpose. And the story is really centered on her reuniting with her friends and finding information about what actually caused this supposed disease. So I'm happy to read from this is a long book, so you have a lot of choices in terms of page numbers.
384.
384. From this one, you have to pick it up. You really picked a juicy page. Maybe go a little lower.
223.
I really want to find out what's on the page.
I know. We'll immediately flip back. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so to kind of set the scene up, in the midst of trying to reunite with their friends, they come across this sort of independent camp of kids who are run by a really nasty piece of work called Knox, and he's actually another kid, but you would never know by the way he treats his fellow telekinetic mutants. Okay. Okay. What do you know about East River? He demanded. Well, to begin with, spoiler, Chunks began, crossing his arms over his chest. We heard it in Virginia, I cut him off. We were heading that way when your friends picked us up. Here was the thing, the smug kid, whoever he was, wherever he'd come from, was clearly not the real slip kid. He knew that, Knox knew that. But if he knew that we knew, I didn't doubt for a second that Knox would dispose of us before we could let everyone else in on that secret too. The name was legendary. Anyone could have gathered this many kids, set up this kind of shop. Why wouldn't they believe he was the slip kid?